How you doing today? Second episode of this tutorial series. Another highly requested one is a 360. Let's get into it.
All right, let's dial in your kite control first on this one as well. Kite control is usually at the top of the list every time for any type of move that you're doing with the foil. If you're off even by a couple degrees, it's going to throw you off the board. Most of you have been told or know that it needs to be around 12. As you start going into these 360s, of course, your bar is going to be out as that kite's fluttering back up to 12. And then when you start carving into that 360, you want that kite falling down on one of the sides, whichever side you're going to end up on that 360. So when you let that bar out as you initiate the 360, that allows the kite to kind of go behind you. And then you're kind of steering towards that one side before you even get halfway through the 360, and it's falling on that side of the window. As you see in this freeze frame, the kite is just off that 12 o'clock line. So whichever side I'm doing the 360s on, I usually put it on that side. So 12:30, 11:30, and then as you're looping, it goes down. So this one's 12:30, 1, 2, loops out at about 3. I let the bar out, kite flutters back up to 12. I go again on that side of the window and looping the kite down. I'm not looping the kite at 12. When you loop the kite at 12, it just gives you a little bit too much lift out of the 360. This form allows for my power or surf 360s is what I call them. So the kite comes up, bars out, kite goes behind my right shoulder. I loop it. It loops all the way down to 3 o'clock, ripping me around the corner of the 360 and out. And then we start back up again. All right, and this one first, I want you to focus on my bar. Notice how I'm already steering the kite to where I'm going to be at the end of the 360. This allows the kite to move kind of ahead of you and rip you through that 360. Bar handling and pressure is day to day as well. If it's really windy, you want to pull the bar all the way into the chicken loop sometimes. If it's less windy, you want that loop to be a little bit slower. So just play with it. But as a beginner, I would always say to pull in all the way to the chicken loop until you get your timing down for that day. And as you see, my shoulder and arm kind of leading the dance into this 360. And then once it starts back up, you'll see me look over my shoulder. It's pretty much like a back roll kite loop for all you twin tippers out there. Same kind of motion, just different timing is all. When you get the loop just right, it looks like this. So timing is another critical aspect of the 360. As you see me starting the 360 here, about 10% into it, I let the bar out for just a split second. And then not even 15, 20% into it, I'm already looping that kite and sending it to the other side of the window. And when you get that loop just right, it's almost like a bounce pivot around that 360, allowing for that power. I do realize I'm mentioning the kite position a lot in this one, but it is one of the biggest factors of why you fall doing this move. In the bottom-up POV, you can get another look at the subtle movement I make to the exit side of the window. All right, let's focus on weight displacement now. So as you initiate the 360, pretty normal weight displacement, just a little bit of heel pressure is really all you need to initialize it. For my pivot or bounce 360s or those power 360s you see me doing, I'm putting actually a lot of rear foot pressure on that to kind of pivot the board around. Like right here, there's a lot of rear foot pressure going on right there. Don't forget about the front foot though. You still need to keep a little bit of pressure applied to that front foot to keep that board from popping up. As you can see in these videos, I'm almost pushing the board and foil down as I'm coming around the 360. It's almost like a jumping around the corner. My legs get straight, fall back into it, come back around the corner, preload, put the pressure in the rear foot, pops me around the corner, fall back into the 360. Speed is also an important factor. So get a good, comfortable speed and make that comfort zone stretch every once in a while. When you go out, get a little bit faster, and it makes these 360s a little bit easier. This is my advice in foiling in general. Even if you don't want to learn a new move, the ones that you already know can always use polishing. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. On the next episode, I'll be going over how to sit down, turn while sitting, and stand back up. I appreciate your feedback as always. Have a great day.